iTuneU Course Manager um, is available through Safari, so you can access it on a PC with an old version of Safari. I think it's 5.7.1, or obviously on a Mac. This is the MacBook Air, and I've just signed into my iTuneU Course Manager account. It links up to your Apple ID, and once you're in, you're able to create any number of new courses up to a 20 gigabyte limit, and add in materials that you've created, or web links and things like that. So I'm just going to show you a course that I'm working on at the moment, just to try out the iTuneU features. This is a higher computing artificial intelligence course that I'm trying to pull together. As you can see, you've got to add a bit of a blurb before you can start. So I just made a course code and put in a little introduction about the subject and a very simple image which would appear in iTunes. And I can go back and edit that at a later point. Now on the left hand side, I've got different pages, different pages in my iTuneU course. And what I've done is I've just followed the main sort of headings that are in the course arrangements just for this purposes. And inside each one of those, I've just pasted the arrangements documents. I haven't even edited them very much, so you get the double bullet points. But this would enable me to very quickly go back and extend that later on, and I can obviously edit those pages at a later point just by hovering over the content and clicking on Edit Content. Now, once you've created your pages, you can add some materials. So if you go into the materials section there, you can see on this side that it's split into different categories of content. So you've got audio, video, books, documents, apps, images, and web links. And at the present, all I've added are some web links, which are videos that I use with my higher computing class this year. I like the fact that you can add apps. This is something that Fraser Spears was talking about when I met him at the SCIS iPads in Education conference in February 2013. And he showed the group very quickly some of the courses that he's created, or his school has created at Cedars, which featured apps as well. And it was really quite nice that you could download the apps which were related to the course from within the iTuneU course material. So you can add material just by clicking on the button at the bottom here, and you can pick it from the computer, from materials that have already been uploaded, because they don't have to be applied to courses, they can just be uploaded into the iTuneU Course Manager, or you can go to iTunes or WebLink. Obviously the iTunes thing, you can add in content which is on the iTunes Store, or you can add in any web link, and that's how I added in my YouTube videos there. Once it's done, you can go back to, you can go to the post section, and this is where you actually create entries, a bit like blog posts, into your iTunes course. So if I just add a new one, just to exemplify, what happens is when your pupils take the iTuneU course, this will tick when that assignment has been completed, whether it's watching the video, reading the book, or downloading the app. As a first impression, I think the iTuneU course creator is really simple to get to grips with. It's obviously easy to add materials to, whether it's on the internet or on your local machine, and the courses themselves seem very straightforward to pull together. I'd like, I'm always picky, but I'd like to see a way of importing an entire YouTube playlist, for example, and not just the individual links. I'd also like to be able to upload a document, for example, that would generate the different pages in the iTuneU course. Perhaps already bringing in some of the descriptions of the pages, if not the web links. But these are small things, and I might find out that this is possible. But as a starting point, it's great. The next step for me is to try out this sample course on an iPad or an iPad mini, or through iTunes, and just see how it looks to the students.